I've just finished reading a very interesting book on the Hare Krishna movement, how this movement flourished and suddenly met its Waterloo. I found it very disturbing actually because it made me think of other religious movements. Far too many religious trust, Waqf board property, shrines, far too many godmen who have made fortune of their ashrams and their uh, places. Likewise, they started to tackle the evils of society and then floundered soon after the death of their founders. Many in every religion. And to my simple understanding, in almost every case, the cause of dissension between the followers was nothing but money. So today I shall speak on the curse of money. There are few exceptions, like I would say Sikhism, where which saw a succession of 10 gurus. It narrowly escaped going onto the rocks as rivals laid claim to guruship and their tax collectors, masnads, mal- malcontent followers, just for money. In the end, the last guru, Govind Singh, had no option, my friends, but to call a halt to the succession of gurus and, and vest guruship in the entire panth. However, he only succeeded in ending guruship, not the evils that money generates. Even gurudwaras have become dens of corruption. Mahants, Jathedar, they fought over their control for no other reason. Its history is full of it. Than grabbing offerings made by worshippers. We see the spectacles in all the sordidness in the squabbles over the control of the uh, SGPC, which has annual budget over, I think, more than 50 crores, and the wranglings between Jathedars to preside over the takhts, thrones, is massive. Now you take a look at the Waqf board properties. They say if they are managed well, the whole Muslims community poverty will be eradicated and the country will be greatly benefited. But where are they? Every malign, every person trying to take hold of it is selling the property for their personal uses and misusing. You look at the reforms movement of recent years, like that of Radha Swami, Acharyas. You see the case of Acharya, so-called Bhagwan Rajneesh, the kind of money and the riches he generated. Prabhupada's International Society of Krishna Consciousness is ISKCON. The Radha Swami's movement started in Agra. It spread to the Punjab, where a separate sect with a guru of its own was established in Bias. Then the Bias sect further split, and there's a third Radha Swami camp. And it's going to on and on. It is just the control of the institution. You look at the case of Rajneesh. Even when he was alive, he made an enormous amount of money. He had a fleet of so-called, everybody knows, 99 Rolls Royces. A township named after him, Rajneeshpuram, and much else. Squabbles between his followers and started right when he was alive, and even his death is a great mystery. There are far too many write-ups available on YouTube that he was even poisoned for just to take care of the riches he has created. No moral principles were involved, my friend, only and only money. The most sordid of all these tables of religious degeneration is that of ISKCON. Its founder, Abhay, they flopped in the business ventures, abandoned his wife and five children to become a missionary for Lord Krishna. He spent 11 years in Vrindavan, took sannyas, changed his name to Prabhupada, and decided to spread the gospel of Gita in the United States. And how successful was he is simply unimaginable. Mrs. Sumati Morarji, chairman of the Sindhia Stream Navigation Company, gave him free berth on one of her many ships. Prabhupada arrived in New York in the summer of 1965 with no more than a clothes. He wrote a battered typewriter and he had just few rupees worth of dollars. By, by, by the time he died, 11 years later, my friend, he had raised a chain of marble and gold temples in 12 countries of Asia, Europe, and United States. The total assets of ISKCON, I think, was almost more than $3 billion. Amazing. Prabhupada named 11 of his disciples to look after the temples and devotees in the different regions. Instead of carrying out the mission, most of the acharyas grabbed whatever they could lay their hands on. They one ate out of the gold plates and drank out of gold goblets. Just imagine. Even the emperors cannot think of such extravaganzas. And ruthlessly, shamelessly, they treated their followers like slaves. I was invited in Safipur, one of the Muslim Makhdoom shrine, and the host were the Shahjada Nasheens, the heir of the Makhdoom of the shrine, and they invited me, and there was a 10 course lunch offered to me with every delicacy available there. And they were living totally a king's life. And when they came to see me off after the lunch and after my talk, right in the gate, there are hundreds of beggars. They just ran towards my vehicle asking for alms. All these people do not understand what is the state of the people around them. They make sure that they remain in the slavery state. Since a very number of them, all these godmen, they come from the broken homes, had been drug addicts, and had criminal records. They went back to the way of life they had been access to. And quite a lot of godmen these days, you all know well, quite a few of them are in jail also. So, my dear friends, what lessons can we learn from these faiths of such a reform movement, such godmen, such gurus, babas? I think two lessons we can take straight draw. First is that money corrupts men as well as institutions. And second, the men or women who preach religion should set an example by practicing what they preach and refuse either to own a property or to have control over it. In short, like oil and water don't mix, my friend, money and religion also don't mix. Prophet Muhammad said that it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle, but it's difficult for a rich man to cross. But seeing today's godman's condition, I reframe it. I said it is easier for a rich man to pass through the eye of the needle than preach morality from the pulpit. A food for thought, my friends. Thank you very much.